A core principle of shamanism is that we can, through the use of a variety of different tools and practices, connect into the web of consciousness within, through, and around all that is, in all its various forms, in all its various appearances, from the plant people to the animal people to the mountain spirits, the spirits of waters and lands, to different star constellations, as well as cosmic beings of light. Why do we do this? Why do we as human beings want to do this? So fundamentally, it is because of this deep spark within us as human beings, this deep need, really, to find our way, to find ways to connect into our divinity, into love, into beauty, and into the essence that is the love light that moves within, through, and around all that is. It is axiomatic, actually, that we need, on a human level, to connect with. Okay, I'm going to start over again. All right. Seriously, this is driving me crazy. Okay. In shamanic practice, we understand that human beings have a deep impulse within them to connect with love light, to connect with divinity within themselves, by whatever name. This divinity is both something that is outside of us, but it is also in us, in the sense that in Christianity, we say that we are the face of God. We are the mirror image of God. We are, in fact, the mirror image of the creation around us. Our bodies are constructed out of, are made up of water and earth and fire and air. The breath is air, the fire is our digestion, the water and the earth is what constitutes our physical garment and the fluids that move within, through, and around us. And so what we know is that by connecting with the elemental forces of nature and connecting, therefore, with all the forms of nature. Okay, let's start again. What is destiny? Destiny is not fate. Fate are the forces that keep us entrained into particular experiences, particular habits and patterns that draw certain people, certain jobs, and certain woundings into our life. This is fate. Fate is often very much determined by our conditioning, by our family, by the society that we live in. If we are living unconsciously, unaware of our personal agency as creative beings and creator beings in our lives, then we are apt to be caught in something that feels like fate. Now, the great shamans through time have all understood, the great medicine people through time, spiritual masters and adepts through time, have understood that there is something called destiny. And that destiny is something that is eminently malleable, that is connected to the free will that we are given when we are born into a human body and into our lives. Free will is the essence of life on earth. What I mean by that is that though on a soul level, we do in a way choose the experiences, the culture, the family, the time in history that we are going to be born in, and that we are seeking to have certain kinds of experiences or to have a certain impact on others or to support and help others, whether it's within a family or a friend with whom we have a soul contract. The fact of the matter is that once we land in this physical garment, we have free will. In addition, we are completely interconnected with all of the different people, all of the different forces of nature on this planet. And as such, therefore, we connect into a collective stream of experience within which our unique individuality and our free will connects. And yet at the same time, and it seems paradoxical, with that free will, we also have the ability to step out of the fray and to harness our highest destiny. Destiny is a map, is a pathway wherein we take as much charge as is available to us. In order to harness the probable outcomes and even possible outcomes to certain conditions within our life. Now, let me be clear. Life on this planet is complicated, and we can be caught in the middle of war or a family war zone, or we can be caught in circumstances that eclipse the ability that we have to shift our destiny. And that in fact our destiny may be to be right there, for better or for worse. Because we as human beings, we as souls come here to love, learn, evolve, and serve, to grow, to expand, to deepen. And when we think about destiny in one life as being interconnected with the destinies of many lives within a holographic matrix, we can see how we may in fact be working through certain challenges and problems over multiple lifetimes. So I always admonish my students, and I admonish you, when I say that I don't want to be shaming, or blaming. This is not deterministic. This is not like an axiom that if I think more positively, that, I can get out of this bad situation or I can make more money. This is not that. But what shamans do know is that by harnessing certain tools of the craft, we can, in some ways, first heal ourselves. We may be able to, in some ways, to mitigate the impact of the external circumstances that are in the present beyond our control. And we can also sometimes steer the course of our lives into something that is more creative, more fruitful, and better. There is a spectrum of experience. I tend to think as well that when we talk about destiny and we talk about fate, we have to be kind to ourselves and loving to ourselves, because there are many, many hard processes that we go through living on the earth. I mean, as the Buddha said, we will inevitably experience the pain of birth, of illness, old age, and death. The difference that he said is that we don't necessarily have to suffer in the process. And herein lies something that is very core to the idea of destiny. So, if we are in a situation where there is a lot of pain, people around us are in pain, maybe there's abuse, and there's certainly a lot of suffering. By taking one tiny step to go within us, to find the essence and the divinity within us, there can be a little bit of a relief a relief from suffering. And sometimes it is also true that if we are in, let's say, a relationship that is abusive and we are adult and therefore not dependent upon our parents or the abuser to survive, that by doing that work of going inward, by considering the fact that we can become more conscious and aware and awake to our very core and elemental power to change and tap into the natural pathways of healing and tap into our divinity, that we can begin to find pathways, a way out, pathways to a better life, pathways to something that is more joyful and productive, or even just the ability, if we are bound into a hard experience, and even to build and forge a place within where it feels like there is some sense of home and grounding and peace, so that we can occasionally, even if we at times just lose it, right, or are caught because things are hard, like witnessing the death of a loved one, for instance, that we tap into that divinity within. So, Destiny Lines also speaks to the fact that there are multiple possibilities and probabilities for the unfolding of our lives that sometimes we don't see because we are so caught up and blinded by our conditioning, blinded by old beliefs that we must do this, or we must be there, or we can't do this, and we can't be there. And so by considering the fact that destiny offers us an opportunity to see that there are different pathways, that there are different possibilities and probabilities, we can begin to loosen up those beliefs that are holding us back. We can begin to loosen up the conditioning within us in order to then activate, magnetize a better future for ourselves. And if we are parents or guardians for children in our care or others in our care. Now, having acknowledged this great complexity of life and all the different causes and conditions that can keep us in places where, for the time being, maybe even longer, in places that are hard, that are maybe terrible, that if there is some semblance of freedom, that we can reach for that. How have shamans done this? Shamans have done this, as I said, using many tools, and one of them is something called journeying. Journeying is a process of what I would initially call active imagination. It is a way that we go into a light meditative state or trance, and through the use of drumming or rattling or syncopated rhythm, we actually go use a map, a visualization that will connect us with whatever the destination or the energy, the place, or the being that we need to connect with to make that connection internally. And in the case of journeying to harness our highest destiny, we use, I'm going to lead you on this journey right now as an example. Now, one thing I think that is important about journeying to see our destiny, or the many destinies that are available to us, is to understand that fundamentally what we are doing is we are stepping out of linear time and space, and we are moving upwards in our consciousness to our greater selves that are able to see the bigger picture, and that we are doing so moved by love and informed by light. This is not a complicated process. This is a tool that is available to every single human being. When we dream, we are journeying. When we are using our imagination, we are journeying. And when we are using this process of shamanic journeying, we acknowledge that imagination and visualization and feeling are the portal into worlds and dimensions and domains that actually exist, that are part of the holographic matrix of our being, the crystalline construction of our soul and our spirit, of our body and form, of our heart and our mind. And so, if nothing else, a journey to connect to our highest destiny will at the very least lead us to the love light that is who we truly are. At the very least, then, we can bring the remembrance of that love light back into whatever condition or whatever situation we are in. And we can also, in another way, perhaps see a new and possible future trajectory for our lives. We can perhaps then harness that possibility, that probability, and bring the seed of that, the imprint of that, back into the present, back into our hearts, so that then, like all seeds, they are watered through consciousness, through awakeness, through awareness, and they begin then to shift subtly and sometimes overtly the direction of our lives. And they begin to shift, in particular, what is within us, our thinking, our thoughts, our beliefs. As I said, sometimes this is dramatic and sometimes it is very slow. Sometimes that destiny doesn't appear in our lives until well into the future. I've had the experience myself of touching into a destiny line, a greater destiny line. And then many months later, sometimes a few years later, all of a sudden I feel and see it click in. Because fundamentally, when we do journeying, we are operating out of linear time and space. We are operating in a place of divinity, of energy, of the movement of light. And so it is that it may take time to come into manifestation in our thoughts, in our feelings, in our hearts, in our bodies, and in our external reality. So let's go. I want to lead you on a journey to see your destiny, your highest destiny, and to anchor that back into your heart, into your being. So we begin. First, close your eyes. And take 3 deep inhalations in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth slowly. Bringing love light in, breath of love light in, and bringing breath of love light out. We set a clear intention to go on this journey into the upper worlds, the domain on the map of life that is connected to our higher self, our soul, our spirit. And now, visualize yourself coming into the sacred valley, your sacred valley, the place of healing, dreaming, and vision. This is where you come always to journey. Look around you. This is your sacred valley. Notice what plants and flora and fauna are there. Is it in the mountains? By the ocean? Is there a river or a lake? You know you have come here today to journey to the upper worlds, to see and harness your highest destiny for life. And then you see the great tree of life in your sacred valley. And walk towards that tree, noticing what kind of tree it is, what kind of branches? What kind of leaves? What is the trunk like? Broad in the beam or narrow and sweet? And walk towards that tree of life, the tree of journeying, for it is with the assistance of this tree that you will journey to the upper worlds to retrieve your highest destiny. And when you get to your tree, lay your hands upon its bark and tell grandmother, grandfather tree why you are here. I am here, beautiful grandmother, grandfather, to journey to the upper worlds, to harness my highest destiny in life. And you feel the trees ascent and love. And you find the spirit within you pulled like osmosis through the bark. And your spirit now freed to journey and fly is being pulled up, going up, from the trunk and up into the branches, the highest branch, going up, and all the way up to the top of that highest branch. And there, before you, are the portals to a doorway, a gate, studded with gemstones, and a door that is engraved with the moon and the stars. And before that door is your guardian, your sacred guardian to the gates of the upper worlds. Greet them with your love and awareness. See what they look like, how they feel. They are your guardian. Sometimes called the Great Pachacuti. And so you say, please, beloved guardian, I would like to go through the gates to the upper worlds that I may harness my highest destiny in life. And so the guardian takes a key out of their pocket and puts it in a lock in the door and opens the door. And there you go, through that door, getting closer and closer to your divinity as soul and spirit. And now you travel up, pulled by that heavenly light, pulled by your soul and spirit, by your intention. You pass through the kingdom of the stone people. But you are not meant to stay here. You keep moving, pulled by that light, up through the kingdom of the plant people, a place of rest and repose. But you are not meant to stay here. And you travel up into the kingdom of the animals, a place of joy and companionship and play. But you are not meant to stay here. And then you are pulled by the light of soul and spirit up through the kingdom of the ancestors. And though you see many beloved faces and places, you are not meant to stay here. And then finally, that love light pulls you up into the heavenly kingdom. And there in that heavenly kingdom, everything is bestudded in sparkling diamonds and gemstones. And there are the songs of angels and archangels, of cosmic beings of light. And And that light pulls you towards the great temple of soul and spirit, towards your divine parents, mother, father, who await you. You enter the doorways of that temple and pulled by their love until finally you stand before them. And that love light pulls you through the portals of that temple until you stand before your divine cosmic parents and are filled with their love light. They know you were coming. They await you. And you say to them, oh, thank you for the gift of life you have given me, for the opportunity to love, learn, grow, evolve, and serve. And I am here to ask you to show me my highest destiny in life and to bring that spark of light back with me. And then suddenly, you feel yourself lifted up. And you are flying along pathways of light. And finally, one of those pathways, the brightest, the widest, the broadest, pulls you into its stream of light. And you are pulled along, and as if you are flying, you see beneath you your life. First, your life in the present, and then unfolds new possibilities, new friends, new opportunities, new experiences. You see yourself in the fullness of your connection to your divine essence, guided out of that beauty and light, being pulled to a great emanating light. And here you feel and see many things. Trust what you feel, see, sense, hear, and know. Take your time. Begin to feel the call of your divine cosmic parents. And you see a gift as you are pulled back in front of them in that beautiful temple, and they hand you a gift of remembrance, a gift of activation. Take that gift in whatever form. And they say, we love you, and thank you for visiting. We are always with you. And then they send you on your way. And so you are pulled back by the love of life, back out of the heavenly realms, down past the kingdom of the ancestors, down past the kingdom of of the animals, down past the kingdom of the plants, and down past the kingdom of the stones. And then you come back out through the door, the gates to the upper world. And there stands the guardian. And he turns and closes the door. And you give your thanks and your love. And then you feel that great tree pulling you down, down, down. Your spirit pulled down, down, down. Down through the branches, down, down, down. Down through the trunk. Until you move like osmosis, your spirit coming back out. Back out. Into the sacred valley. And now there in that luminous place, allow that frequency, that vibration of your highest destiny, that gift, to penetrate deep within you, into every level and dimension of your being. Take your time. And trust that when you awaken, this dream will be real in the daytime world. And so it is, and so it will be. Aho Wado. At this point, you may want to do some journaling, to write down what you noticed on your journey. And you can, of course, always come back to this recording and go on the journey again. I thank you. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for listening. I thank you for stepping into your natural luminosity towards your divine essence. May you, your family, your community be whole and well. And may the healing gifts of this practice be for the benefit of all of us, for all beings, that all will live in the highest light, that all will know joy and happiness, prosperity, abundance, peace, and love. May it be so. Aho Wado.